my god, my hand is shaking so much. There's still okay. When I order at restaurants, I order soda. When I go to the movie theater, I get soda. And when I go to baseball games, I'm drinking soda. My unhealthy dependency on the bubbly and sugary drinks started at a young age, thanks to my parents. I drank so much Pepsi as a kid that I think a portion of my blood content is probably Pepsi. Even when I was diagnosed with severe acid reflux when I was 15, probably due to the acidic drink I was always drinking, I still continued to drink it. Because I have an addiction to this drink, I decided to write my first speech about the history and the developments of the drink we know as soda. Soda, also known as pop or soda pop, is defined as a sweet drink consisting of soda water, flavoring, and oftentimes ice cream, according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Dating back to the ancient Romans, naturally carbonated water was considered to have healing properties, a thought process that continued into the 18th and 19th centuries. The earliest soda was invented in 1767, when a man named Joseph Priestley developed a way to carbonate water. What he would do was he suspended a bowl of water over a batch of fermenting beer, and the CO2 would go up into the water and it would become carbonated. According to medicalbag.com, these early sodas were sold at pharmacies and they were marketed as medicines, and they were used to treat indigestion, headaches, impotence, and even mental illnesses. For example, the very popular soda that sponsored the 2020 Super Bowl halftime show and my drink of choice, Pepsi, is the Greek word for digestion, and this word is Greek and is pronounced as Pepsi. In 1789, Jacob Schweppes, the namesake of the popular carbonated soda water, Schweppes, he developed his drink and he sold it in Geneva, Switzerland. Eventually, it was called soda water and became very popular amongst consumers. In 1835, it was being bottled and put on shelves in America for consumers. It wasn't long before inventors began experimenting with flavors, because they wanted to make the drink more appealing to their American consumers. By the early 1800s, flavors like cherry, gooseberry, pineapple, pear, and tutti frutti were available for consumers in America. In 1886, one man would change the game of soda forever. J.S. Pemberton, seeking to create a completely new flavor unknown to the taste buds of consumers, he mixed the African cola nut with South American cocaine. And the resulting flavor was delicious and invigorating, probably because of the cocaine. But in 1929, it was removed, and we have what we know as Coca-Cola today. Although it was the first and most successful, it wasn't technically the first, because a pharmacist who goes by the name of Charles Alderton, he developed what we call Dr. Pepper, and he sold it exclusively at the drugstore that he worked at in Waco, Texas. And it wasn't marketed nationally until 1904 when it was debuted at the World's Fair in St. Louis. The popular lemon lime drink, 7-Up, was created by St. Louis resident Charles Liker Gregg. His company, the Howdy Corporation, released the light-colored soda, originally named Bib Label Lithiated Lemon Lime Soda, in 1929. And the original recipe contained lithium citrate, which was a mood-stabilizing drug that was used to treat bipolar depression and manic depression. After the creation of these popular sodas, soda fountains became crowded hangout spots for American consumers, drawing in a social aspect of the impact of this beverage. Friends and neighbors would gather in their local soda fountains, usually located within a drugstore, and they would hang out and socialize. Some of your grandparents might fondly remember sipping soda and hanging out with their friends at these soda fountains in the 50s and 60s. Clearly, these pharmacists and experimenters knew what they were doing when they created soda. The bubbly, sugary, and caffeinated drink has captured the thirst of consumers for over 200 years. In America, soda sponsors everything from the Super Bowl to Santa Claus. I can't speak for all Americans, but personally, soda has had a huge impact on my life. When I think about Pepsi, I think about drinking it with my parents when I was a kid, even though they would drink the diet because it was healthier. Now I have a dependency on the acidic drink, which isn't great, but it tastes good and it reminds me of simpler times. I hope I was able to share some intriguing information with you all today, And if you aren't a soda drinker yourself, I still hope that you have the same fondness in your heart for soda that I do. Thank you.
There they go.